What's up, my YouTube world? Johnny Mo, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Hey, just wanted to stop by. I'm finally getting a little bit of a break here. Uh, last last month, literally, was the biggest month I've had in snow removal. Like, I worked 24 out of the 31 days in January. I mean, it was consistent, constant. We had one major dumping of snow. It was a big storm that went through. That took about 3 days to clean up, finally. And the rest of them were just, real quick, hour and a half. I'm sorry, hour and a half, but inch and a half storms. And I mean, it was brutal. It was one of the most brutal. I had another month like that in 20. Good morning, good morning. I had another month like that back in 2011. I had another month like that. I mean, I went through so much salt. All that salt that I had in the previous video, it's all gone. I went and bought more. I'm completely out again. I went out yesterday. I got to get some salt today. But I figured I would just jump on here and just give you an update what's going on. It was just the busiest month in snow removal that you could ever imagine. Like, I was out. Hey, what's going on? It was so huge in January. I was out all the time. Every day it seemed like. I couldn't get any sleep. We had one major event. I was out for 3 days in that event. Finally got it all cleaned up. And it just, every day seemed like it just enough to go salting. What a great month. I'm just giving you an update. I haven't kept up with YouTube a great deal. As you see, I'm not one of those guys trying to grow my channel to a massive amount. And I was just watching Randy's video, and I think he was talking about how to grow YouTube. I was catching bits and pieces of it. But I can tell you one thing. If you make a video every single day, you'll get people to follow you, and your numbers will grow if you just do that. 4 events, man. I had 24 events in January. It was phenomenal. I'm gonna release a little bit of numbers here to you, just to help some of the new guys out, because I've been getting a lot of questions about salting. Um, I I do my stuff a lot different than most people. I do not pound. First of all, let's just start off the rack. Most guys that you ask have no clue whatsoever about salting. They push a button in their salt truck and they have no clue how much product is being wasted out the back. They're absolutely clueless. But because they buy bulk salt, there is a large room. Like a ton of bulk salt is about $77, $75 here. If you want treated salt, that's about 90 for a 90 a ton, up to 100 a ton of treated. If you buy bag salt, you could probably get the bags for about anywhere from $4.50 is the cheapest I found, up to $6. If you're paying $6 a bag, you're getting ripped off for 50-pound bags. $6 a bag, you're getting ripped off. I think if you're paying above $5 a bag, you're getting ripped off. So I'm right around the $4.65 mark. I could be the $4.50 mark, but the $8 that I would say between pallets would be sucked up in gas. $2.50 a pallet here. That's about where you need to be. I'm about $2.30 a pallet. About $2.30, $2.33 a pallet. $2.50 a pallet's not bad. Storing bag salt is a lot easier than bulk salt. I've done both. Bulk is a lot cheaper, but it's a little bit more work because you got to bucket up all the salt. I've currently this year have went completely bag just because of storage issues. I'd like it cheaper. Yeah, me too. I used to get a pallet of salt for 175. When we got really low on salt, the salt went up to 220 a pallet, and then it never came down. Like, salt never came down. Now the bulk salt has. But back to my original point, the salt is where you're going to make your money, because most of my events are salting events. Here in the Northeast, I plow, but not as much as I salt. Now, my contracts are pretty much zero tolerance. I have full reign on them. I don't have a management company. First of all, I won't work for management companies. I highly suggest that you don't either. I've had my rants about management companies for years. You've all heard them. Um, I'll give you an example of a management company. Let's say that you have a management company and they picked up one of the big um, box stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. We'll just give you an example for those two. So they sign that contract in July. They are already getting paid for that. Every month they get their money. They usually stretch it out to 6 to 9 months is how most management companies do it. And let's say the contract for that specific store is 45,000. What the management company now does is contact me or someone like you, and they say, "Hey, this contract is worth $23,000. Do you want to take care of this?" And then you say, "Oh, sure, I'll do it." They're getting paid 45. They just sold it to you for 23, and you got to take care of all the work, and then they make you jump through hoops to prove that the 23,000 that you did. Oh, teaching me about relying on winter. You're welcome. Uh, so they sell it to you for 23, and then they make you jump through hoops. Oh, you have to take a picture, you have to have it signed, and they make you jump through the hoops. They're out there in Connecticut or they're out there in California, and they're telling you who live in Pittsburgh how to do your job. They don't even know if it's snowing. Then they want to make these constraints on, oh, got to be 2 inches, got to be this, got to be that, got to be this. And what they try to do with the 23,000 that they're giving you, they are trying to make even more money off that. So they're trying to stick it to you. Then they're late on paying. And you call them, "Hey, what's going on with the payment here?" "Oh, I'm sorry, we're waiting for a payment from them." Why? Because you got paid in July, you got paid in August, you got paid in September, you got paid in October, you got paid in November. And that's the thing I hate about management companies. They lie to you. They stretch you out. And then some are so bad that they'll let you sue them and then settle for 10%. Well, they get the rest of that money. So don't work for management companies. I know it looks so appealing. That $23,000, it looks so appealing. But if enough people will just shut the management companies off, then they'll have to come local again. Every store will have to come local. And so most guys have no clue when it comes to salting. What you're about to hear here, what I'm about to tell you, is you are about to get priceless information you will never find anywhere else. And I'm not going to make you pay for it. I'm going to help you with this salting issue. I'm going to help you when it comes to salting. Because when I got in it, I couldn't find the information. I searched forums, I searched everywhere. I was searching highway departments to try to figure out custom cuts. Management companies are a joke, especially the ones that tell you what you're getting paid and don't take bids. Oh, absolutely. So, you want to tune in now. From this moment, for the next 4 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about salting. So, when I got into it, I couldn't figure out how much it took to melt a lot. I couldn't figure out anything, and there was no one out there willing to help. Like, how much do you put down? I don't know. I put the spinner on 3, the auger on 4, and we go at it. I'm like, oh man, well, how much salt is that? Oh, I have no idea. I just put the button. Now again, when you have bulk salt, you have a large. Think about it, $75 for a ton of salt, whereas I'm paying $233 for 2,400 pounds of salt. So there's $33, no, $160 difference between the two. So you have to learn real quick. Now, does that give them the right not to know how much salt they're putting down? They're still losing money out the rear end of the salt. So over the last 10 to 12 years, I've come up with a formula. So the formula goes like this. I appreciate that comment, Randy. I've got it narrowed down to about 14 and a half pounds per 1,000 square feet will help melt the lot. Now, here's the caveats to that. 14 and a half pounds per 1,000 square feet will melt the lot, especially on the cold days. I don't go above 15 pounds per thousand anymore. I used to go all the way up to 20. But now that I've really honed in the formulas, it's about 15 pounds per thousand on really cold days. You might need a little bit of a kicker. I use a kicker called Slicer. I don't know if you can find it. It's from Central Salt. If I put 7 bags of regular rock salt, which will melt down to 5 degrees. Here's a misnomer about salt. Now pay attention here. They say that salt won't work under 15 degrees. That's absolutely false. This is coming from people who have no clue about salting. Number one, just because the air temperature says 5 degrees does not mean that the road temperature or the parking lot temperature is 5 degrees. You have to understand that if it's sunny out and you have blacktop, it's going to heat up. Also, you have to take in consideration that the warm tires that are going across the parking lot will also warm up the salt, which will create. I have salt, it's called Morton salt. It said it works down to 5 degrees. Most people say you can't put salt past 15. If your supplier is telling you that, he's trying to get you to buy the blended salts, which are even more money, which really line his pockets more. Guys, you got to think. You got to think deeply about this business. So, this is a great teaching here, guys. You want to tune into this. Now, listen to me. So, first of all, salt will work down to 5 degrees. If it gets negative, here's what I do. This is from Central Salt. This costs about $6, between $6.50 and $7.50 a bag. It's called Slicer. It'll work down to negative 20. That's half the price of calcium. So what I do, my spreader will hold, sorry guys, my spreader will hold 7 bags of salt. I'll put 2 bags of Slicer in. I'll put 2 bags of regular, 1 bag of Slicer. I'll try to mix it up a little bit. What happens is that Slicer will get mixed in with the salt. When you're driving around and you put the vibrator on, it'll mix it. It'll mix it all. And then what happens is that Slicer will start melting a lot, and then the salt will take over. So you're talking about, when it comes to salt, what is the ground temperature, not the air temperature? Just because it says it's 3 degrees, does that mean you can't put salt on a lot? Absolutely not. There are times where it's been -5 and I hadn't have any Slicer, so what did I do? I took my warm tires and I drove around the lot and I heated the salt up to get the moisture. Also, the moisture that's coming off your truck, the water, will also start to activate the salt. So guys, don't go out there and just, oh, we got to get calcium and buying it for $15 and $17 a bag. We're going to calcium this. You're going to lose money. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can still use salt. You just got to be smart. You got to be smart. The second thing is, make sure when you get a lot, you're doing a lot, and you get to have access to how you do the lot. I do not melt high half-inch storms. It will be plowed off. If you have a customer that says, you're not going to do it that way, that's not the customer for you. I'm not going to sit there and use extra salt to melt a lot. Like I see guys melting 1-inch storms. They're using twice the amount of salt, getting paid the same amount of money. I mean, what most companies are not going to let you, okay, if you have 1 inch, I'm going to charge you this amount to salt it. If you only have a ½ inch, I'm going to charge you this amount. They want a fixed price. If you're plowing it for 45 and you're salting it for 45, that's it. You know, so if you melt 1 inch and you use twice as much salt, you use 30, 40 pounds per thousand, you're going to be out left in the dark. Be smart. I plow it. I clear the lot. Now, there's different snow. There's wet snow, there's light snow, there's in between snow. Now, if the temperature is going to be between 28 and 32 and or that sun's going to pop, I then pull my formula back to 10 pounds per thousand. So if the sun is going to pop and we're between 28 and 32, like if I'm out there plowing and I look on the weather app and it says full sun, and I'm looking up in the sky and I see the stars while I'm plowing at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking at this and I am putting a light application on it because the sun and the traffic is going to really help melt the lot. Again, if there's a half inch on there, I'm going to plow that off. I'm going to charge them for the plowing, and then I'm going to hit them with the salt. So guys, that's your salting education. That is the best information that you're going to get. 14 to 15 pounds per thousand in really cold situations, and or it's continuing to snow. Now, will 15 pounds hold off a snowstorm? No, it won't. But you go back again and put another round on. And that's the thing. Most guys, they've got 15 parking lots and they're solo and they're trying to do everything and they can't get back around. So they have to put more salt on. They're losing money and they're not getting back for a round two. When it comes to, I just did a video on that about how I used to scrape a lot every time before salt, no matter what. Tons of negative feedback. It doesn't matter to me because I know it works. I mean, I've been doing this for so long. They can say whatever they want to say. But my route is set up. I can get my route done in 3 hours. Plowing, doing sidewalks, and salting in 3 hours. So if it continues to snow, boom, I'm right back in 3 hours. That's 6 hours. Continue to snow, boom, right back. That's 9 hours. Now, the second time through is probably not going to be as bad as the first time through. I can do my whole salting route in an hour and a half. So if I'm just salting, hour and a half, boom, right back for another application, boom, right back for another application. If you've got more than 4 hours on a truck, you're going to get screwed. We had an 8-inch snowstorm come through. It was about the middle of the month. They named the storm something, Harper, I think it was. We got dumped on. And then it rained, turned to ice. I mean, it was just a mess of a storm. But if you've got a mess on your hands, how are you going to plow that lot, salt it, do the sidewalks, get to all your places? You're not. You're a liability waiting to happen. You cannot mess around with snow removal. Snow removal, I've been sued twice. I've been sued. I know what it's like to get a letter in the mail and say, Mr. So-and-so, I just wanted to inform you that at such and such date, my client has failed. I know what that's like. Snow removal is nothing to play around with. It's extra money. Don't mess around with it. If you tell a person you can clean his lot and you're going to make it safe and it's not safe, someday, some way, you will get sued. Be careful what lots you pick up. If you pick up a lot that has a lot of traffic, when you go in and they ask for a bid, one of the very first questions I ask, listen, this is right here. This question right here is probably going to save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars someday. Write this question down. You go in, hey, I'm such and such, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I'm so excited to get your business, and you're excited. Ask them this. How many customers per day come in and out of these doors? Think about that. Because if you have 1,000 customers going in and out, the chances of someone falling in your lot is really good. You might want to double think that one right there. Especially if they put stipulations in the contract. If you still want that, you better write each stipulation. Like, here's what I do. If there's a stipulation, maybe there's a back parking lot that they don't want done only in certain that circumstance is written out and signed by the president of the company or the manager. Signed. If there's a second stipulation, we do not want you to come unless there's 3 inches of snow. That's the second thing, is written out and signed by the manager. Because I'm not going to write up all these stipulations and have one signature. I want signature, signature, signature. ask even when you're just mowing and maintaining? No. Well, you could, but when it comes to snow removal, which we're talking about, you got to know how many people coming in and out. Now, if you're mowing that account and you have 1,000 people coming in and out of the doors a day, obviously, do you really want your guys, or are you out there mowing it, throwing clippings, and maybe taking a chance weed whacking and hitting somebody? Obviously not. You need to know the traffic so you lessen your liability. I'm personally not interested in doing a place that has 1,000 people coming in the door, because odds are someone is falling on your lot. And the only way I'll do it is if I can just come whenever I want, as much as I want, and there's no questions asked. So that's a question. You never heard that before, did you guys? All these big, huge snow plowing people, they don't tell you stuff like that, do they? No, they don't. Uh, just this little old solo guy from the Northeast giving you all that you've never been told how many pounds per thousand to put down. You've never been told how to structure a contract, and I just find it interesting. Little old guy from Northeast Pennsylvania. Uh, so let's just briefly review. Find out how many people are coming in and out. If you have a large amount, 500 to 1,000 people coming in and out of that business a day, you really want to make sure that you are not liable for every little thing. Because if they say 3 inches of snow, that means I'm not coming. First of all, I won't take that. I want to make sure that I can come when I want to come. And let's see, that's why I like that. I only plow Verizon buildings. Most of their employees work from home. The buildings are buried. Yeah, that's true. But Verizon's, here's the thing though, Verizon, you three are the realest experienced guys. Johnny Moe, Countryside, and Top Notch. You three are the realest. Thank you, I appreciate it. And those are all good guys that you mentioned. Randy and Brian, great guys. Building businesses, sharing information that you're not going to get on these larger channels. They're basically just spokespersons for whoever company's repping them today. I don't spokesperson for no one. I don't have. I just tell you, just like I did the backpack wars. I told you what I thought about Echo. I told you what I thought about the new steel backpack. I think those are the two monsters, and I'm sticking with that today. I don't think the Echo is comfortable enough for me, and so I'm probably not going to keep the Echo. The Echo is probably going to go. The steel just has the power that I need, and it's just more comfortable than the Echo. I don't like, if you're a shorter guy, the Echo might be, but like I don't like my arm jammed up like this. And even if you put the handle down like this, now my arm's like this now. So I just didn't like it. So 15 pounds per thousand is your salt. If the sun is going to be out from 28 to 32, you can go 10 pounds per thousand. Those are my two formulas. If I need to go above 15 pounds per thousand, I just wait a couple hours and I come back through and I salt it again. That's how I do it. What's this guy? Yeah, can't thank you guys enough. Cool. If you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them. I'm going to shut this video down. I can never upload them because it takes forever. So please ask the questions now. It's probably not going to get uploaded. It just takes way too long, and my phone can't sit that long. These are all done on my phone. I can't sit that long and wait for it to upload. I could try to do it overnight, but because I get up so early to check the conditions outside, the phone is being used constantly. So if you have any questions, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. So I think this video should help, because I get a lot of questions about snow removal, how much I charge. It's different in every area. You know what I mean? I will not plow anything for under $35. I don't care if it's one up, back up, and one up. That's it. It's 35. So what I do is I measure my lots, and I have a formula, and you can plug in your formula. If it's $4 per thousand square feet plus $20 on top of that, and then whatever that lot price is basically what the salt price is. So if it's $50 to plow the lot, it's $50 to salt the lot. But I have the privilege, just joining you and when talking about plowing half-inch of snow, do you ever pre-treat your lots? Yes, I do pre-treat. This year has been rough for contract snow cleaning. Sorry to hear that, man. It's been great up here. I mean, it's like I said, January is one of the biggest months I ever had. Um, I do pre-treat if it's going to be a nasty storm, just to get ahead of it. I rarely pre-treat though. Rarely. If I see that freezing rain is imminent, I will. I will. If it's like 31 degrees, rain is moving across, I will pre-treat everything. Um, I've done that. I'll do that. But pre-treating a 2-inch storm is a waste of their money and a waste of my time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to waste someone's money. But if it's freezing rain and it's coming straight across the United States and it gets into Ohio and it's imminent, there's no way we're going to avoid it, and the temperature's 31, it's about to go to 32. What I'll do is I'll pre-treat everything. For treated bulk salt in Minnesota. Well, Minnesota's different, my man. I mean, I'm talking, I can get mine right out of Monaca, right off the Ohio River. So when the barges come in, it's just loaded right there. So you can get treated salt for um, I don't know about Canada. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but I know for us, treated salt's about, it might be up to 110 right now, but I've gotten it for as cheap as 90, especially if you buy it by the truckload. You buy it by the truckload, you'll get it for 90, 95. 75 for untreated bulk salt. Like I said, this is the first year I didn't do any bulk at all. This is the first year I went completely bagged, and it just simply because it's a storage issue with me. I only have my garage, and I just didn't have any way to get enough uh, treated salt to my driveway. The guy that used to drop it off for me doesn't do that anymore, and so I just decided that I'm just going to go for this year. I'm going to go bag salt. Yeah, but if I turn my resolution down, everyone gets mad. You know what I mean? Everyone gets mad, and I start getting these stupid, your resolution. Oh, John, your resolution stinks. Yeah, you gotta get a new camera. I don't care. I couldn't even tell you how many subs I have. I'm clueless. This is just, listen, YouTube helped me out in a pivotal point in my business years ago. I was so burnt out. I've been doing this since 1996, and I got so burnt out, and I just watching YouTube, and I clicked on Geek to Freak. He had me cracking up. He had me cracking up on how he was doing things, and then I saw the struggles he was going through, same struggles I'd go through when it would rain and trying to get caught up, trying to live the family life. And I'm like, man, I really related to him. And that's why I started basically doing YouTube to help guys out. I just grew a lot larger than I ever thought I would. And I appreciate, I get a lot of mentions from other channels, how I've helped them. I realize I'm not 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers. Honestly, I'm not trying to be there. If I wanted to be, I know I could be. I know the formula. I could definitely do it. But being a YouTube star, and it's not what I want to do. It's just not me. I just don't want to do it. If I wanted to do it, I could. Also, I could prove it to you. I should put a video out. If I start putting video out the next 10 days, you'll see probably 100 new subscribers. And then you'll have a whole bunch of followers. But I just don't. It's just on my convenience. I run a business. I coach basketball. I have 2 kids. I'm married. And all of that is before YouTube. This is just something to do in my spare time. I had an extra 45 minutes today. I have to run out and get some salt. So I figured I would jump on here, give you an update, give you some information. I've watched, a couple videos about salting, custom cuts. I'm sorry, I don't know you. I'll have to check you out. put some info. I didn't know. Groundskeeper Willie, Johnny, snow removal support group. It's nice to have a bunch of different perspectives. Well, thank you. Some of these people I don't even know. Like, if you have channels, I'm not up to date. Put some channels up there. I'll read it right now. There's 30 people watching me, so I mean I can, I'll mention your channel. Custom Cuts. I've never seen a video from you. I don't think. I'll check you out in some free time I have coming up later. Check out Custom Cuts. We started doing videos. Cool, cool. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna check you out. Custom Cuts. I think I seen Groundskeepers here. Was here. I don't know any of these new guys. I think I seen Happy's family said hello. I love Happy's channel. If it's the same one that I'm thinking of. Maycroft channel, Custom Cuts. I've never seen Maycroft. I'll check you guys out at a different time. But hey, man, any questions you have? I'm about to cut this off, about to get going, get my day started. Just a simple review. Do not take a lot unless you have Countryside Vlogs. Countryside Vlogs. Oh, I'm new. Yeah, you're new. You've been around as long as me. No, you've been around longer than me, I think. I can't remember. I came in. The guys that was... Let me see. Who was around when I first started? There was Jeremy, Top Notch. There was Geek to Freak, Spencer's. And there was a guy out of Tennessee's Lawn Care, whatever his name was. I think his name was Adam. He was around. I think Seth was around. Seth. Who else was around? I can't remember. There wasn't. LCR was around. I'm trying to think. There wasn't very many. Now it's exploded. There's lots. A and Acme, Dennis, Dirt Monkey. There's a lot of people. Oh, the guy from over in Kansas City was around. The young kid, Brad. I think his name was it. Brad. What is his name? What is his? I forgot his name. He runs the stand-ups. Is it Brad? No, he runs those skags. He was in the skags. Blake, that's it. Blake. Yep, Blake was there. Blake was one of the first ones. I can't remember everyone. There's still a lot of going. Scott's Outdoor, SOS. Check his channel out. Lots of good ones, but you're in the top 2 or 3. I appreciate that. Try to put quality. I don't have the camera or the setup because I am solo. It's hard for me to set up a camera and tape me mowing lawns or plowing, all that. But just a brief synopsis. Don't take a lot in snow removal unless you have total control over it, which means I'm going to plow you at even if it's a 1/4 inch and it's cold and there's just no way to melt it. You're allowed to plow it up and then salt it and do what you want. You can come as many times as you want a day. Those are the lots that you want. That's where you start to make the money. If you are not salting, driveway work up here is generally about 2 inches. I only have 6 driveways left, and they are at my discretion. I'll plow them at a 1/2 inch. But if you get a driveway up here with just 2 inches and you're relying on that in the winter, you're not going to have a good winter at all, because probably I've only done my driveways 6 times total this year. 5 times in January, and 3 were because of Harper. So 1 storm caused 3, but the other 2 were nothing. Happies are fantastic people. Got to meet them. Genuine people. I like their channel. I do watch some of their videos. If Happy or you're watching, you're overloaded with work, my man. I see a very bad situation for you guys. I've been in your shoes. You're not getting back to your lawns enough, and you're losing money. And I know rain was an issue last year, but I'm just friendly advice. Honestly, you are in a situation where you either need to back it all the way up to where you two can get it all done in a week, or you need to hire some serious people and get another truck out there, because you guys are really overloaded to the point where it almost became funny. You were saying, hey, we haven't been here in 21 days. I know rain had a lot to do with that, but that's very, very, when it comes to lawn care, you get your work done in 1 week because that lawn, if you have 100 lawns and you can't cut them all in a week, I don't care if you have 100 lawns because you're not making the money you need to make. Because then what happens is the people that you start getting overlapped week after week after week, and then you become unreliable, and then people start going away from your service. So when it comes to lawn mowing, you want to make sure that you can preferably get done Monday to Friday, but you still have Saturday and Sunday to get caught up if you need to be. And I understand that rain up here in the Northeast reset the record this year. We had more rain ever in the Northeast than we've ever had. It topped it off. So far, the snow has been awesome. I'm ready for a little bit of a break. Looks like we got another snow event coming in tomorrow. I've been there too, and people don't want to hear it. Oh, about the being over too many lawns. I don't know. I've been there, and be realistic with yourself. It's like me. I only have 7 commercial lots. I have room for more because when I'm salting, it only takes an hour and a half. But listen, in a snow event, when it starts snowing at 3 o'clock in the morning, doesn't stop till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh yeah, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear why you can't be there. If it starts snowing at 3 o'clock in the morning, doesn't stop at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's 3 events in there. But if you have 15 lots, there's only 1 event, and you're not getting back to make the recurring income. So you'll make more money with less than you will with a whole bunch. So think about that. I only have 7 commercial lots. Begin with the end in mind. Hey, that's a great saying. That's a great book too, by the way. Begin with the end in mind. Well, guys, that's my time. It's been absolutely fun chatting with you. I will see if I can upload it, how long it's going to take. I'm probably not going to upload this video. I'm not going to promise you that I am. The only videos I really upload are 15-minute ones because it only takes about 6 minutes, which is about all the time I have. So, guys, have a good one. Johnny Most salute. God bless you.